Hello, Mrs. Carn here again. We're going to look today, we're going to continue our study of operations with polynomials, and today we're going to start by looking at adding and subtracting polynomials. So this first problem here has a plus, so our operation is going to be adding. We notice we have those parentheses. If we could simplify anything inside the parentheses, we would do that first. But in this case, there's no like terms inside of our parentheses, so nothing to simplify. Likewise, if there was a number in front, we would have to distribute it first, but no number in front. So we actually don't need these parentheses. We can just ignore them, or we can rewrite the problem without the parentheses. Once we have the problem written out and ready to go, to add polynomials, well, we simply look for like terms to combine. So I always start with the highest order term. In this case, it's the x to the third power. Because that will make our polynomial end up in standard form with the highest degree term first. So here we have 10x to the third. Then our next term, we've got minus 4x squared, and that's the only x squared term, so it stays by itself. We've got plus 5x minus 11x, so negative 6x, and then plus 2. And you can see it's already in standard form. We have a lead coefficient of 10, and this polynomial has a degree of 3. Our next example is going to be a subtraction example. In this case, this first set of parentheses we really don't need because there's, again, no like terms and nothing to distribute. So we just have 6x to the fourth minus 2x squared plus 3x. But this next polynomial has this minus in front. So we have to distribute that negative, or we can think of it as distributing a negative 1. So everything in the parentheses will change signs. Instead of plus 4x to the fourth, it's minus 4x to the fourth, plus 9x squared minus 7. And once we've done that distribution of this negative, all we have to do is look for those like terms to combine. So we have 2x to the fourth, we have plus 7x squared, we have plus 3x, and we have the minus 7. And that's our final answer. It's in standard form, 4, 2, 1, and then no variable. X to the 0 is the same thing as a 1, right? So our degree is 4, because the highest exponent is the 4 here. And our lead coefficient is the 2. The next set of problems are written in vertical order, or on top of each other, with the two trinomials on top of each other, which is a nice feature. You notice that this has x squared, these both have x squared, y squared, and then these are both xy. So it's like the like terms are already nicely lined up on top of each other for us, so that we can simply begin our addition. So here we have 10x squared, y squared. Here we have 13xy, and then we have negative 3 plus 3 makes 0xy squared. But we really don't need that 0 term, right? We could have just noticed that those cancel. So our final answer should be 10x squared y squared plus 13xy. So that has a lead coefficient of 10, a degree of 4, and it would be a binomial because it has two terms being added in our final answer. This next one is very similar, but it's a subtraction problem. The top trinomial is just going to stay as is, so I'm just going to copy it over. And this next one has that minus in front, so again we need to distribute that minus. Minus 5m squared plus 6m minus 17. So when we put those together, we have 6m squared plus 8m minus 28. Lead coefficient is 6, degree is 2, and it's a trinomial. Okay. Our next example does have numbers in front of the parentheses, which means that we need to do that distribution first. So when I distribute the 9 to clear out the parentheses, we have 36x squared minus 63x plus 108. Then we have to distribute the negative 12, and remember the minus belongs to the 12. So we have negative 12 times 3x squared, negative 36x squared, negative 12 times negative 5x, positive 60x, and positive 108. Once we've done the distribution of the negative, we just look for those like terms to combine. So I have two x squared terms, which actually cancel each other. So we could write 0x squared, or we could just leave it off. And then the next terms we have are minus 63x plus 60x. So that's negative 3x. And then we have 108 plus 108 makes 216. So our final answer, negative 3x plus 216. We have a lead coefficient of negative 3. The degree is 1, and it's a binomial. So I'm going to stop our video here. That's all I've got about adding and subtracting polynomials. You can do some practice, or you could watch some more videos online, and get in touch with your teacher if you have any questions.